on how I colored these glass looking mermaid tiles. So I don't know if you guys can see that really well. It's kind of like gemstones, but I got a bunch of smudge on there, but in letters. So we're going to be doing the tutorial on that. And I printed out a blank one. So this page was from a custom page that I made for Jessica. So this was one of my custom pages. So if anybody's interested in a custom name page, you could go to my website, kristinapril.com. On the bottom of my page is kristinapril.com, and I have you can order one there and tell me what you like. Like, for example, Jessica loves mermaids. She requested some pearls in her page, and oh hey doggy, and she wanted a meow cat, meow maid. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started. Now I'm sorry, you could see like my tripod here. I used Prismacolor pencils, but you could probably use any colored pencil, and just a variety of colors. And I also use a colorless blending pencil and a white gel pen. So that's all you need is the colorless, some kind of colorless blender, colored pencils, and a white gel pen. So I'll start by doing the H, which is like the multicolored one. So I have a yellow, canary yellow. I have a hot pink. This one is Scarlet Lake. Well, if you can see, that's kind of blurry. Just a red, just pick any red. And a purple. So I'll take, is this one here, is Imperial Violet. And then some sort of dark blue. My stomach's growling, can you guys hear that? So this one is a Copenhagen blue. But if you don't have these exact colors, just, you know, get as close as you can. And starting with the lightest color, I wish I could zoom in on this, but it's not letting me. And again, if you're just joining me, I got this technique from Amanda Rose Rambo, who owns, she's an artist and she owns Vitruvian Art. She does the Cutie Patootie series and also gemstones. She does lots of gemstone books. I think she's on her 3rd gemstone book. So right now I'm just lightly putting down a layer of each color, going from lightest to darkest, so yellow, pink, now the red, and just slightly overlapping each one as I go. So the next would be purple. And yeah, Amanda has some really, really amazing coloring skills. Like, I fangirl over her so hard with her coloring. And then the darkest one is our dark blue. Now I just realized what I did. I did the same exact thing yesterday when I was practicing this on the other page. I get ahead of myself and I started coloring before I did the scales. The first step before I started coloring, but like I messed it up yesterday and I went in and did it after and it was fine. You take your red and just kind of outline around the curvy part of each scale. I have yellow, and mine is canary yellow. But if you don't have these exact colors, you can just find something as close as possible. So canary yellow, which is PC 916. There goes my phone. I probably should have turned that off. And hot pink, which is PC 993. Imperial violet, PC 1007. The red is Scarlet Lake, PC 923. And the blue is Copenhagen Blue, PC 906. So those are the colors that I'm using right now. I have more off to the side that I'll use in my other ones, like when I do the blue and green one. And okay, so once you have all your scales colored in, then you could have gone over it with the colors. Then I'll do it right the next time, I promise. You just kind of blend that in with your blender pencil, just to soften up the hard lines. And in Amanda's video, she used, I don't know if she used Gamsol or just generic odorless mineral spirits, but I don't have that available, so I'm just using a blender. Okay, then when you have that one layer down, you're just gonna go over it again, just to do a little bit more blending. So it goes yellow, then pink, then purple, like, can you guys hear my stomach growling? Kind of embarrassing. Feed that girl a cheeseburger. So when you have that colored in, then you're going to take your white gel pen, and mine is a Uniball. I don't know if that's Signo or I call it Sino. Uniball Signo or Uniball Sino. So before I use my gel pen, I always kind of prime it a little bit. But you want to put your lines in the darkest part of your colored area, and just follow the curve, if it has a curve, but follow, why isn't this working? The outline of really, gel pen? You're gonna quit on me now? Even my dog's grunting. There we go, it's a little better. So then that kind of gives it more of a glass looking appearance. Okay, so that was how I colored this one. Now we'll do the pink into the purple one. So again, start with your red and just trace each of your scales around the curved part. And you really don't have to go all the way down with these because when you color, it's gonna blend it together anyway. So I'll stop there with that part. And this one we're going to start with the light pink. This one is called Hot Pink PC 993. And at the top, we're going to do the same technique, just a light layer coming down. And then I have, this one is a lavenderish color. It's called, the name is called Lilac PC 956. And start by going a little bit over the pink and pulling that one down. And the next darkest purple I had was Dahlia Purple, which is PC 1009. And if you don't have a huge range of these colors, like in the darker or lighter shades, then just pull the, make the area that you're coloring a little bit larger. Hope I said that right. And then the Imperial Violet that we used before, which is PC 1007. And then I'm going to take the darkest Ultramarine, which is PC 902, just to do the tip of the tail. That's kind of like a blue. And then we're going to repeat. And pull all those colors together. Over in Patty's group, we are having a coloring contest. I'm sorry, her group is called Coloring Co-op, and having a coloring contest on coloring ugly Christmas sweaters. And I drew up 4 of them for that contest and posted them around Facebook. So if you color one of them, be sure to go over and enter. Whoops, I think I skipped one. Be sure to go over and enter into her contest your ugly Christmas sweater. There's just different techniques and different ways and different reasons we color. And if you're coloring for relaxation, then it doesn't really matter what, I'm just going to go a little dark here in this fold to kind of give it more of a shadow there. But yeah, if you're coloring to relax, you don't want to, try to be perfect. You just want to color and kind of zen out. Okay, so now that that's colored, we're going to go back to our white gel pen, and you're going to follow the curve. Of the tail. Just in the darkest spots. And one of the tricks that Amanda does is she takes her blender pencil, oops, and after your white gel pen has dried, she goes over the white gel pen and it makes it thinner. And I thought that was a really, really cool trick. I'd never thought to do that. I always thought it would smear or something. But that's a good tip if you like make a mistake with your pen or something, or say like right here you want to add a little break like that. So thank you, Amanda, for that tip. So that was our Mermaid tail. And next I'll show you how I did this one. So I used reds, well, one red, yellow, one yellow, and greens for that one. And a blue, I think, also. So start with, you know what, let's do the S. No, let's do the I. It's a little fatter, easier to see on camera. But if you're not already a member, check out my Facebook group. It's called Sassy School of Coloring, and we do all kinds of tips and tutorials. And of course you post your coloring pages. It's a very super friendly, inspirational, fun place, because you know we love having fun. We're all about being sassy and silly and having a good time. I did the scales. Sorry, my tripod's not very stable and I just knocked it over. Okay. Then you're going to go over that with the colorless blender pencil or Gamsol or odorless mineral spirits if you have it. But as I was saying before I knocked you guys over, Sassy School of Coloring Facebook group. You can join there and we do all kinds of fun stuff. Bingo is very popular. I know on Wednesday, Jessica, my good friend and assistant who I made this page for, she had a flash giveaway yesterday. She just had you post your work in progress for Wednesday and did a giveaway. It was actually 2 giveaways, so that was really nice. Okay, so on this one I start with the yellow, again canary yellow, but you can use any shade of yellow. This one is Spring Green PC 913. Oh, I'm just coloring away, not telling you guys. The darker green was Grass Green PC 909, and then the darkest green was Prussian Green PC 109. Okay, so we did our first round. Now you're going to go back and just kind of do another layer and blend, you know, doing more blending of the colors and pulling them together. So yellow, a light green, which is Spring Green. Again, this kind of, you won't see the red once you get down towards the, this one's Grass Green, towards the bottom because the colors just get too dark. Prussian Green, the dark one. And then I just kind of went up the sides a little bit just to give it a little bit more depth, like a rounded look more with the dark one. And then take the, oh, I almost knocked you guys over again, the ultramarine, and just really kind of make a little, I'm using hard pressure here because my layers got pretty built up. Make it like a dark blue there. I don't know if you guys can see it. And I'm just gonna add a little bit more green up the edges. Just using a circular motion and pulling that in. I used to use, before I had Prismas, I used Crayola Twistables because I have regular Crayolas and they're not as waxy and don't blend as nicely as the Twistables do for some reason, even though they're both Crayola. So, but yeah, you can, it's just, it's a little harder to blend the colors in then. Okay, so once that's colored, let me find my gel pen. And so there, that kind of gives it a glassy kind of look to it. Okay, so we did this one, this one, this one. Now we'll do the yellow, blue, and green one, which is the U. And for this one, I didn't trace it, the scales with red, I traced it with blue. So I took like a medium dark blue. This is Peacock Blue, PC 1027. And the same thing that we did with the red, just do the blue. And this one ended up being my favorite one. I meant to print out, and I totally spaced out. I wanted to print out the one that Amanda did, because not only did she do a mermaid gemstone like this, but she also did my initials. Oh my god. She posted it over in Sassy School of Coloring. So cool. And she put a little crown on it. Okay, so there we have our scales outlined with the blue. And blender, where'd you go? Where'd my blender go? We're just gonna blend that in, soften up some of those lines. Okay, so that's blended out. Now back to the yellow, Canary Yellow, PC 916. And I just always start at the top. You could start at the bottom if you want, but I just figure the light source would be coming from the top. And the yellow is going to mix with the blue and make it kind of greenish, which is fine. It kind of gives it a cooler effect, I think. So I go from yellow, and then a light green, and I chose Spring Green, PC 913. Pull that together. And then the next darker color, dark green, which is grass green, PC 909. And then where's my blue? Back to the peacock blue. And then just like the other ones we did, we're going to go back and repeat the process. Start with your lightest yellow. This one's definitely my favorite. Let me know which one you guys think is your favorite so far. We have this one, the H, the tail, or the eye. The eye's kind of cool though. It reminds me of a snake with the red and the greens. This one reminds me more of a mermaid because it's green and blue. And then the blue. So go on with the blue. And then again, I take the blue up the sides. And this I'm doing hard pressure because I've already got so much built up on there. I have to press really hard to get it to lay down right. Also, I wanted to show you guys, this is a freebie mermaid page. I was going to do it on this one. This one, sorry I can't. I have important mermaid stuff to do. This was a dueling pencil series, which means two artists came together to make this one, and it was myself. I did the lettering, and Carlene Tyne of Fat Cow Cartoons did the mermaid. So she drew it, sent it to me, and then I added the saying. And we offered it as a freebie. And she did that, I think, with a couple other artists, which was really cool. You can get this, I believe, on my Facebook page or probably her Facebook page. But yeah, this is a freebie, and it does have the mermaid letters, so you can do that, and you can color her tail like I'm showing you guys. But that one is a freebie if you don't have any mermaidish kind of stuff available. I mean, it doesn't have to be a mermaid that you do this on. You could do this on anything. It just looks really cool with the scales though. Okay, back to, sorry I got sidetracked. I get so excited. Back to darkening up my edges with the blue. Oh Lord. There we go. One of the things actually that Amanda did was she kind of traced her whole gemstone to give it a glass look. I'm totally messing this up. I'll have to go back in with my my blender pencil there and fix it. I have to wait for that to dry a little bit before I do that. I keep losing my blending pencil. Who took it? Who took it? Here it is. So kind of go in and clean the pencil off as I go. I love when there's a method to correct mistakes, because Lord knows I make them. Looks a little better. Before I do the tail, let's do a pearl. So the pearl, let's do yellow, pink, and lavender. So I'm just going to put a little, very, very lightly. A little circle of yellow. It's so light you could barely see it. And the pink, just gonna feather it in a little bit and go around the yellow. And make the middle of the pearl, the belly, is going to be the light, sorry, not the lightest, the darkest part. The belly. The part that sticks out. And then a light purple, which is Lilac PC 956. Just going to kind of feather that in. Again, trying to get the belly of the pearl to be the darkest part. Go back with my pink. Just kind of lighten up that yellow a little bit. Or darken up the yellow, I'm sorry. It's opposite day. And then back to my purple. And that's kind of a little, I've done much better pearls than this, but this is just an impromptu one, just to kind of show you guys. Before I do the tail on the mermaid. I'm going to try to stick with these same colors, which is like a pink, a lilac, purples and blues. And I'm going to do it so the highlight is going to be my lightest color, which is the pink. And looking at this, I think this is curving this way. So the curve, the light part, is going to be here. Now you guys may look at this completely differently and do it your own way. This is just how I would color it. Okay, so I just put the light pink down in the middle of each part. I'm looking at each part of this as one section. So like this is one section, this is one section, and this is one section. So the next would be the light purple or lavender. just with light pressure. I'm using little small circles. And I'm trying to leave a little bit of room for the dark. Okay, and then we will do our dark purple. This one is the Imperial Violet PC1007. So just lightly coloring in the edges of each section with the dark purple. Okay, now I'm just gonna go over that with the middle purple, the light purple. I'm just gonna go right in between the two colors and kind of pull those two colors together a little bit more on each one. I learn from watching everybody else. I am like constantly watching tutorials and techniques, and I see something I'm like, how do they do that? And I'll research it until I know how to do it. I'll practice and practice and practice, and yeah, I don't get all this stuff on my own. I watch a lot of people, and constantly on YouTube to learn different things. Sometimes I'll take, you know, something from one person and something from another and mesh it together to kind of make my own idea of what it should look like. Okay, now I'm gonna take a, where's my dark purple? No, you know what? Let's go with the dark blue. This is Ultramarine PC902. And I'm just gonna kind of do a line along the edges to make it look like it's curving. It's so quiet in my house. Usually my dog's snoring away. He's not even here on the couch with me. I wonder where he might be in the bedroom with my husband. They're early birds, party poopers. I could be up all hours of the night, and the dogs and my husband will be sound asleep snoring. Okay, now at this point you can use your colorless blender pencil. If you have a colorless blender pencil, I'll show you what it would look like to blend this now with this, but then I'll just do one, because then I'll show you how I prefer to blend it, because I prefer to blend with the light color instead of the blender pencil. So I'll show you both, and then I'll let you guys decide what you would do. So this is going to blend everything together, and you always want to clean it off in between, because it will color will get where you don't want it to go. So this blender pencil, what it does is it like pushes down the tooth of the paper and pulls the colors together. It's just another Prismacolor pencil without any pigment in it. So it's kind of, it picks up the color too. So there, that's kind of what that looks like. And then I'll show you how I do it. So I will take the lightest color and go over everything and pull it all together. And I think it gives a little bit more vibrancy that way. I'm just working in small circles, pulling the darker color into the lighter one. So that's how I generally do it when I'm coloring with color pencils. Another way is, and I've done this in previous videos, sorry, let me try to find my white pencil, is using your often overlooked white coloring pencil. Where are you? It's probably all the way on the bottom. There you are. So by using your, ooh, this one needs to be sharpened, but just for the sake of showing you real quick, you can do the same thing with your white pencil. It will also act as a blender, but it kind of clouds it up a little bit, like it's not as bright and vibrant. See what I mean? But it is another technique you could use to blend if you don't have any like odorless mineral spirits or baby oil or whatever you use to blend your colorings with. So that's kind of 3 different looks. Again, this one being my favorite because you could just see the color vibrancy, see the difference in it. But that's kind of how I would color the tail to make it look like each one is kind of going around. Yeah, so there you have it. That is our little tutorial on how we colored the mermaid scales to make them look like glass, the tail. I did this one just impromptu because Deb wanted to see the tail colored, and then I just colored a pearl just because I was feeling a little froggy tonight. So my nose is running. I apologize for sniffling. I'm going to sign off for now, and thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I will be back again sometime this weekend to do a live drawing video. So thank you guys, and I will keep this posted, so if you missed any part of it you can rewatch it from the beginning. And thank you so much, and happy coloring everybody. Have a great weekend.